Hi, I'm Andy Call, lead pastor here at Church of the Savior. With the recent spike in COVID-19 cases, I know there's been a lot of questions about what's happening in our communities. And so I wanted to provide this update for you about what we're doing here at Church of the Savior. This is not a time for panic, but it is a time for caution. We know that cases are on the rise. We know that this is an extremely contagious variant that we're facing right now. And we're certainly very concerned about our hospitals and healthcare workers that are feeling overwhelmed right now. And we want to do our part as well. So here's what we're doing at Church of the Savior. First of all, we're continuing our commitment to wearing masks indoors at all times. And here in the sanctuary, our seats are limited to every other pew. In the Great Hall, we have a lot of distance between groupings of chairs, so we're continuing to maintain as much safe distancing as we can do. Also, there will not be any greeting lines or unnecessary congregating taking place in the building. Now, we think those are reasonable steps to take, but please know that there is no scenario that is risk-free. There is always going to be some risk involved when we're facing a global pandemic like we are. So I want to encourage you to weigh your decisions carefully, especially if you're a high-risk person. You may want to stay home and just make the decision. All of these indoor services are going to be live streamed. You'll still be able to participate in those as well. Not quite the same as being in the room, but still a good option for you. If you are unwell at all, please stay home. Do the right thing for yourself and for the people around you. Even if you're not sure what it is, it's better to be cautious than it is to take a risk with your life and someone else's life. Now, if you come, here's some things you should expect. First of all, wear a high-quality, well-fitted mask. No gaiters or bandanas, please. Make sure that these are good quality masks. If you can get a surgical mask or an N95, even better. We're going to do our best to keep things as trim to a limited amount of time as possible. We're aiming for an hour for each of these in-person indoor Christmas Eve services, but that's still a lot of time to be together. So make sure you're wearing something that is well fitted and is going to protect you and those around you. Also, don't linger any longer than necessary indoors. Greet people outdoors. We're not going to be greeting people here, forming long lines with people. Just a reminder to you to continue to move on. You'll have opportunities to see each other and maybe make a phone call or send a note afterward. Please be patient with our staff and our volunteers. Everybody is really taxed on this. We're doing our best to make sure that we're providing the best experience for everybody that we can and keeping everybody safe. But those are not easy decisions. It's incredibly stressful, especially for those people who have to pass along messages that they know are going to be unpopular. And you should also know that overflow seating is an option for us, and it is a wonderful option. It's not a second-class status, but we have the space and we have the technology now that allows us, even if you can't be in the room, if we run out of space here, which we might, know that that's a good option for all of us, and we're grateful that we have it. Now, as much as I'd love to be back to the days of having 1,000+ people in this building on Christmas Eve, I know this is not the year for it. I'd love seeing capacity crowds in our sanctuary, in our Great Hall, but I don't want to see capacity crowds this year, and I don't think you do either. Please know that whether you're here in person or joining us online, that you are in my thoughts and in my prayers, and all of us here love you and care for you very much. We want to make sure that we keep ourselves intact as much as possible and continue to exercise our witness for Christ's love in our world and care for our neighbors, just as Jesus commanded us to love our neighbors as much as ourselves. So friends, I wish it were a better situation this year, but above all else, my prayer is that you will know God with us in your heart as Christ comes to us again this Christmas, that you will be healthy, that you will be happy, and that you will have a blessed Christmas. Merry Christmas to you all.